It's funny, John. I remember back probably even 10 years ago, we'd be going to the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, and it's just filled with those giant booths. And one of those booths was a company called TCL. And I'd always walk by, and they get TVs all over the place. I'm like, oh, what is this? You know what I mean? Like there's like a million of these TV manufacturers, but we've come a long way over the past 10 years, and TCL is a dominant force in the consumer electronics space.
Yeah, they came out, a couple of years ago with the TVs, and they've just taken over because they've got, a very compelling product at a very attractive price point. And 2021 looks like they're not stopping for anything. They're actually the number two TV maker in the world. I don't know who number one is. I'm guessing probably Samsung. But they've got a new display technology. It's called the OD0, and it's a mini LED TV, and OD stands for optical distance. So normally when you have a backlit LCD TV, you have a couple layers of technology. You have like your backlight LEDs that illuminate the LCD panel, and there has to be a certain amount of distance between them so they can be diffused, so that one LED can actually light up a couple, like more than one pixel, if you will. So what they've done is they've actually got this optical distance of 0 millimeters. So this sandwich is much shorter. There's no distance between that backlight layer and the actual LED layer. And apparently it makes for some of the thinnest TVs ever. And I mean, we won't know until we actually get to see them in person, which is something that, we're definitely missing this year, is seeing a lot of the stuff in person. But one of the things that they teased that I thought was just amazing, although it did look like a render, was this Amoled rollable display. So the idea behind it is that imagine a smartphone, that 6.7-inch smartphone. You press a button, and then basically the display stretches to 7.8. It basically unfurls itself. The little mechanism sort of pulls it up, and so you go from phone to phablet.
How sturdy do you think that is?
To be determined. But I mean, they've seem to have done a lot in this space. They also had something else, but they're calling the 17-inch printed OLED scrolling display, which is a mouthful. But imagine, remember all those old parchment scrolls that you would pull open and
Yeah.
they would sort of roll up? Imagine a display that you can do that with. So the demo video that they showed a hiker hiking up a mountain, and he gets to the top and he wants to look at the map. He unfurls this display. It's a 17-inch map that he has. That it's an LCD display, and it looks really cool. But again, it kind of looked like a render. We're watching these on basically video conferencing software, so it's hard to really tell how good or how sturdy or how stable it is. This is the kind of stuff that we would love to get our hands on if we were actually at CES.
Yeah, Rollable is a big thing, I think, coming over the next few years, and I think they're all scrambling to perfect that technology and obviously get the price down, because I can only imagine how much this stuff is. LG has shown like a TV that has rolling capabilities as well. Yeah, I love the concept, but for me, obviously, price and durability.
Durability is probably the biggest question, which is also kind of surprising why they would choose a hiker as an example, because some guy's going to throw it in his backpack, and like how usable and sturdy is that? That's
Or use it to beat the bears back.
perhaps, yeah. But they also announced that they're going to have Google TV integrated into their TVs later in 2021. So they already added a bunch of different systems. So presumably you'll be able to pick your ecosystem for your TCL TV. I'm not sure if you can actually choose on the fly, or you have to choose the Roku version versus the Google TV version in the store, for example.
Yeah, I'm interested, John, because I really feel from what I've been seeing this past year, Google is really pushing their Google TV platform, especially to these OEMs, these companies like TCL and Hisense and others, to build it right in as the smart TV platform. And is that going to do away with all the others? LG's got their Web OS or TV OS, sorry. Samsung, they've dabbled in different variations of their own proprietary smart TV system. And what will that do to Roku? Roku doesn't have the bankroll that Google does. You know what I mean?
No, but they have Quibi. So
They have Quibi. So, but like, how are they going to make money? Like, how is Roku making money? They're selling hardware, obviously. They sell the smart sticks. I'm assuming that they're selling some sort of license to the TV manufacturers, but it'll get to a point where, Google, they just give it away.
Yeah.
So if Google's just giving it away, basically subsidizing the platform, can Roku keep up with that?
I guess we'll find out soon, because it's definitely getting a crowded space, and they're all kind of looking the same. And everybody, including even the streaming services, are trying to build their own sort of OS system, right?
Yeah.
So if you got Netflix, you can have all these other things integrated into that, or Apple TV, or Disney Plus, and all these things like that. It makes sense to make it interoperable for the consumer, so that you buy one thing and you can still have access to everything else. You're just picking your hardware platform that you're basing that off of.
I'm just fascinated that Apple hasn't come out with integrated Apple TV into televisions. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it with cars now. When you're getting a car today, you can have, the Apple CarPlay or the Android Auto. Are we going to see the same thing with TVs in the next 5 to 10 years? It's just going to come down to one or two camps. I think so.
I would imagine so, yeah. Whether we're going to see some of them die off, or they're going to get assimilated and bought by these bigger players.
Yeah.
The big players have lots of money, so they can certainly swallow up a Roku or something like that. But let's move on to TCL's mobile stuff. They had a couple of interesting new announcements. One is they basically said that their TCL 10 series was very popular, and they've got the 20 series, which is out now or coming soon, depending on the country that you're in. And these are all 5G capable phones at a very attractive price point. I haven't done the math, but the TCL 25G is going to be 299 euros. So quick math, I mean, that's still roughly around the same price as what we saw for the 10 Pro last year. And they're also going to have an SE model, which is going to be half that price. So it'll be very interesting to see where that all fits and whether it's going to come to Canada or not. That's some of the things that these international keynotes, we don't get all the details yet, and it might take a couple more days for us to get that information. But very interesting, a very compelling Snapdragon 690 5G chipsets, 6.7-inch displays. They also have a new line of tablets, the Tab S. It's a 10-inch tablet. They also have something called Move Audio S600. It's wireless earbuds with noise canceling, active noise canceling, which is interesting, transparency mode, and 3 different mics for noise reduction and sound cancellation for calls and stuff like that. So again, these are probably going to be very compellingly priced. So we'll have to wait and see what that's going to look like. The thing that I was probably most interested of all the things other than the rollables, because I think the rollables are pretty cool, was Project Archery. This is their wearable display for mobile devices that they showed off a little bit last year, more of as a sort of a proof of concept, but now they're actually going to commercially make it. And it's supposed to come out later this year. This is basically looks like a pair of sunglasses that you would wear that have dual 1080p full HD displays in each eyepiece. So you plug it into your mobile phone, and then you can actually see your display, play your game, watch your movies on these fairly small looking headset.
Yeah, I think we're still a ways away on the wearables. I mean, I think some of the big guys are going to get into it. There's rumors that Apple is getting into the wearable space. So I think the next few years will be defined by what Apple announces, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
If you like this video or any of our videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification icon as well, so that you'll be notified of all our CES 2021 coverage.